Hi there, I'm the Reverend Danny Crosby, a Unitarian minister serving congregations in Altrincham and in Urmston in the northwest of England. And I offer this devotion as a balm for the heart, for the mind, for the spirit and for the soul. And it's titled Songs of Solace, Songs of Hope, Songs of the Heart. We've entered the season of Lent, and Lent reminds me that there are journeys that we all make in life. Physical journeys, spiritual journeys, some journeys that we share with others, but other journeys that lead us into the wilderness alone, facing the challenges that the wilderness holds. Now, some people give something up during Lent, others take something on. Whatever we think about this season of Lent, and people see it in many different ways, may we know that our journey is a journey of hope and a journey of redemption. I'm sure there have been times in our lives when we've felt lost and lonely, out there in the wilderness all alone. When we have sought out solace in all kinds of places. I know I have. Now, I may not have been physically alone. I've been surrounded yet by people, and yet I felt like I was lost in the wilderness, so lost and alone. And I was talking with a friend about this the other day, someone sharing similar feelings, and certainly who shared similar feelings. And a little later I shared with them a little clip from YouTube from the Walt Disney film, The Jungle Book, the one that was made in, I think, 1967. And the song is my favourite song, perhaps. The Bare Necessities. Do you remember it? The Bare Necessities. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, all Mother Nature's recipes that brings the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder than my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at those fancy ants, then maybe try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, that's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Now when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear, you prick a raw paw, well, next time beware. Don't pick the prickly pear by the paw. When you pick a pear, try and use the claw. But you don't need to use the claw when you pick a pear with a big pawpaw. Have I given you a clue? The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. Oh man, that's really living. So just try and relax, yeah, cool it. Fall apart in my backyard. 'Cause let me tell you something, little britches. If you act like the BX, oh, you're working too hard. And don't spend your time looking around for something that can't be found. When you find out you can live without it, go along not thinking about it. I'll tell you something true. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Yeah, man, I mean the bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Yeah, just the bare necessities of life. Yeah, man, with just the bare necessities of life. They'll come to me. They'll come to you. They'll come to you. And they'll come to me. Bit tricky that one, isn't it? Especially without the accompaniment. And I slipped up a couple of times, but hey, it was easier when I practiced it earlier. Oh, it's lifted my spirits anyway. Beautiful, wonderful. The Jungle Book is a wonderful example of what Joseph Campbell called the hero's journey. And I see direct parallels with this tale and the tale of Moses and his journey with the Israelites. And of course in the ministry of Jesus as it's told in the Gospels. Beginning with his baptism by John in the River Jordan. Being cast out into the wilderness for 40 days. The story of Lent essentially, and what Lent's based on. Where, to quote the words from Mark, tested by Satan, he was with the wild beasts and the angels waited on him. Now the Jungle Book, or at least the animation I loved as a little boy, seems to be a retelling of this story. Actually, it's a retelling of all the great stories as Campbell taught them. I remember being taken to the pictures to see, it must have been a re-release of the film in the mid-1970s. As a child, I was immediately enchanted by it. So much so that the album was bought. And the album told the story and it included all the songs. It wasn't just a soundtrack of the songs, it told the story as well with the songs interspersed. And there's so many classics in it. I would listen to it constantly whenever I went to my paternal grandparents. It brought me solace then, and it continued to do so even when they weren't in my life. It still brings me solace today, especially the song, the Bare Necessities. To me, it's the ultimate redemption song. It brings hope when hope is hard to find, to quote a favourite hymn. It's been such a joy to share this song again recently. Lifts me up when sometimes we fall. Many people have their songs, their redemption songs, their songs that they carry with them through the wilderness times of life, songs they know by heart, songs that make them feel that they belong. I wonder what yours might be. Perhaps something to think about as we entered this season of Lent. Now David Blanchard in his wonderful piece Listening for Our Song wrote, "It takes a while for many of us to figure out which is our song and which is the song that others would like us to sing. Some of us are slow learners. I heard my song not necessarily from doing extraordinary things in exotic places. What came to astound me was not that the song appeared, but that the song was always there." And I believe that each of us has at least one song in our hearts, a song that will bring us hope when hope is hard to find. We need to find ways to learn them, sing them, share them, and thus help one another through those wilderness times, to times of love and of joy, so that we can enjoy the milk and the honey of life, just like Baloo. Now music, whether heard or just as importantly felt actually, brings us to life. It brings us to life in the life that we're actually in. And you don't have to physically be able to hear these songs. You can feel the vibrations through your body. You see, all of us have the music in us. We've got to bring the music to life. You've got the music in you too. The songs, the music helps us to understand ourselves and our relationships by calming us or exciting us, entertaining us or explaining us, teaching us, inspiring us, grounding us, or sheltering us, bringing us solace. Finding our song can help us know who we are by heart and soul. It could be a hymn of praise, or a romantic love song, or just some bubblegum pop, or a Disney classic, or a protest song to inspire us and lift us up. Whatever the song is, it's your song. It's the one that touched your heart and your soul. It's the one that still touches your heart and your soul. Your redemption song. Or your redemption songs. There may be many. And it's redemption songs that I'm thinking of. Those that comfort us during wilderness times. I noticed that a biopic of Bob Marley titled One Love, after one of his classics, was released on Valentine's Day just this week. And of course, one of his classic songs is Redemption Song, so I always think of that when I speak of redemption songs. My favourite band who I've loved since I was a teenager have just released a new album, Unbroken. The band is New Model Army. One of my ultimate, they've written many of my redemption songs, but one of my ultimate ones is Poison Street by them. It's come to my heart at significant moments in my life. There are many songs that are redemption songs to me. Another would be Don't Bang the Drum by the Waterboys, that really stirs the heart and spirit. It's one that always comes to me whenever I've had a spiritual experience of some kind. It just hits me, lifts me up. It's the one I want to scream out. I heard a wonderful performance of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car recently, another lovely redemption song. And a friend of mine was sharing with me recently that she and her sadly deceased brother used to listen to this song when they were young, driving in his car. It's a song she carries when hope is hard to find. And another one that I share with friends when they're finding life somewhat difficult is All Will Be Well, a folk song by the Unitarian Universalist minister Meg Barnhouse, song based on words by Julian of Norwich. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things they will be well. It's a song that offers hope in the very real struggles of life. Now, of course, hymns, singing hymns together, whether classic ones or modern day ones, bring solace, bring hope when hope is hard to find. A modern favourite of the congregations I serve and many other people is one that's entitled, well, it seems to be one of two titles, either Come Sing a Song With Me or A Rose in the Winter Time. And it's the song that people choose more than any other song I've found for rites of passage, whether that be a child blessing or a wedding or a funeral. Particularly funerals, it seems, but all rites of passage, people always seem to pick that one. It's kind of taken over from Spirit of Life as a favourite, certainly for British Unitarians anyway. If you're a hymn singer, I wonder what your favourite hymn might be. What brings you hope when hope is hard to find? What brings you a rose in the winter time? Songs sing to our hearts and our souls. They help us feel that we belong. We have songs sung to us from early in our lives. It's impossible not to feel joy when singing happy birthday to a child or someone dear to your heart. I love to sing happy birthday to you whenever it's someone I know's birthday. If I can't sing it to them personally, directly, I'll send them a little voice note singing happy birthday to you. I love to do it, and mostly people love to hear it too, no matter how old they are. Singing, being sung to, is so important. And we respond to singing from the beginning of our lives. It's vital to sing to babies, as Anita Collins states in The Music Advantage, How Music Helps Your Child Develop, Learn and Thrive. She writes, from an evolutionary perspective, music and singing have a very ancient human history, at least as old as language. Babies understand the world through their ears as rhythm, pitch, contour and timbre, and they use sound to identify the important things like who are their primary caregivers, who is part of the family or tribes, and possibly most importantly, who they can trust. One of the most effective mechanisms humans have to convey that information is through song. And we learn songs from a very early age. These childhood songs are kind of mantras in a weird kind of way. Toddlers, through these mantras, can become Zen masters. Maybe that's the first thing we are as toddlers. We lose it maybe. Think about those nursery rhymes that we learn from very, very young. Those nursery rhymes that always stay with us, such as Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. As Philip Toshio Sudo has highlighted in Zen 24/7, all Zen, all the time, as he highlighted, he wrote the following. As children we learn to sing, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Through generation the song endures because it is simple, innocent and true, evoking the eternal mystery of the universe. Where there is wonder, there is Zen, like a diamond in the sky. May wonder never cease. And I suspect we connect through simple songs, just as we connected as when we were babies. We do it the same now, whatever age we are, throughout our lives. I know I do anyway. These songs of the heart help us to feel that we belong, that we are loved, and they can carry us through the wilderness. They can bring us hope when hope is hard to find. Again, as I mentioned David Blanchard in that piece earlier, I love the idea that he speaks of that we each have our own song, and that we find this song in all aspects of our lives, whether in the seemingly sublime or the mundane. He says that our songs sing back to us something of our essence, something of our truth, something of our uniqueness. When our songs are sung back to us, it's not about approval, but about recognising our being and our belonging in the human family. And he continues, they can be heard as songs of love or songs of longing, songs of encouragement or of comfort, songs of struggle or of security. But most of all, they are the songs of life, giving testimony to what has been, giving praise for all we're given, giving hope for all we strive for, giving voice to the great mystery that carries each of us in and out of this world. And he says that it's good to know our own songs and to learn them by heart. This is because there will be days when we do not feel like we belong. We will perhaps hear life singing our songs back to us in those difficult days as others learn them too. So sometimes we might have to hum our songs if we can't remember the words, until we find our way back home to a place where we belong and we can sing to our heart's content. Sometimes it's a quiet hum that will carry us through, just ever so quietly, barely audible. I wonder, what are your songs? What is it that you sing that makes you feel that you belong? Maybe that's something to think about in the coming weeks as we journey on through Lent. The songs that bring us solace. The songs that would bring us solace when we feel a little lost in the wilds of life. Our redemption songs. I know what mine is. Mine's the Bare Necessities. That brings the bare necessities of life. They'll come to you and they'll come to me. Amen. So I'm going to end with a few words of blessing. You know, we need to bless more, and we can all bless. And we bless when we give ourselves wholeheartedly to life. So let's journey on, singing our song, the songs that bring us hope when hope is hard to find. Let's step out back into the world once more. Let's not seek the narrow path that avoids the wilderness. Let's instead walk in faith and hope and in courage along the broad highway of life, singing the songs of our hearts and experience all that life has to offer to us. And may the love that is God be with us, and may it do so in all that we feel, in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Amen. That brings the bare necessities of life. They'll come to you. They'll come to you. They'll come to you. They will come to you. Amen.